Kevin, thanks so much for joining me on the Slice of Finance podcast. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
You're my first post Money 2020 finance podcast that I'm putting together, so I'm excited to continue the conversation.
Everyone's coming down off their Money 2020 highs. Yeah.
I thought it was a good event. There was a lot of people. The energy was good. What did you think?
Great. Yeah. It was our first time actually having a booth, and we've attended before, but we felt definitely like a bigger part of it this year, obviously, because we have some exciting news. But yeah, it was a great event.
Yeah, and you and I had the opportunity. We'll circle up to that in a little bit, right? But we talked about that exciting news on the
Yeah.
floor, and we'll talk a little bit more about it here. We only did a minute kind of short teaser, so I'd love to dive into that later. But first, what I really wanted to focus in on is let's talk a little bit about your journey on like how you came to be CEO of Coinstar, and then let's also talk about Coinstar's kind of story as well, because you and I were talking about this. You go into pretty much any store and you see a Coinstar, and you've seen it for years, but I think there's more to that story, right? So we'd love to hear.
Yeah, and my story with Coinstar is very much the Coinstar story. So I think they weave together pretty well. I've actually been with Coinstar for over 20 years. Started in their finance team. I started my career in investment banking, but came to Coinstar in 2002, and we were just a coin counting company, growing it. We were less than 10,000 kiosks when I joined. We had just entered recently, like the UK and Canada, but we were growing the business, still kind of the land grab, if you will, of getting coin machines out in retail. And one of my first jobs is really as a finance guy was just trying to find the right mix of how do we grow the business, right? How do we expand the business? Coinstar, though, was kind of described. We were a public company at the time. It was kind of described as a one-trick pony, right? All we had was coin counting machines, and so we went through this evolution of buying through acquisition and growing some of our own products, but really acquisition other kiosk products. So you probably remember Redbox, the DVD kiosks. We own that, a bunch of other things. We did 28 different acquisitions over the years. So Coinstar really evolved into this. It actually changed its name to Outer Wall. And we were like the front of the store kiosk business. And I had a variety of roles, sort of progressing through finance, progressing through some sales and business development stuff. And then in 2016, Outer Wall, the parent public company, was taken private by Apollo. And they said, look, we believe the businesses are worth more separated than they are together. So they separated the businesses. And Coinstar, which was a great business and generating, profit, was really taking that money and funding these other ventures. And so in 2016, we got to really focus on our own growth. So we launched in 4 new countries in Europe. So we went to Germany, France, Spain, Italy. We had a real focus on financial institutions. So people love to bring their coins to Coinstar in the grocery store, but a lot of people still want to bring their money to banks. So we were providing a service to banks. And in 2016, when they took us private, I became the CFO, and we were really just focused on growing. So fast forward to today, in 2022, I took over the CEO job. We have over 25,000 kiosks. So, sort of sub 10,000 when I started, over 25,000, 8 countries. And now we still count coins. Everyone knows Coinstar for counting coins. We count over $3 billion of coin a year, but we're really focused on other products. What other financial services can we add to the kiosk for our customer base?
And one of those was the digital wallet, which we talked about at Money
Right.
2020. So we only got a kind of a brief snippet. Would love to hear more about that, because I know that was a big announcement at Money 2020.
Yeah, so you think about the Coinstar machine, and people trust the brand. They know the brand, right? Everyone, to your point, everyone kind of knows the big green machine in the grocery store. 85% brand awareness. People trust it to do a financial transaction, and our customer base is a little bit more cash preferred. 48% of our users are kind of in the income range between 25,000 and 75,000, right? So we're kind of mid to lower income, and for our core users. And we know that these folks, want to participate in the digital economy. They have cash, but they want other ways to spend it. And so coming to the Coinstar machine is so easy, right? Like, it's in every grocery store. It's easy access. It's a self-service that's the same experience every time. So you can come to the kiosk and load not just coins, but cash into the kiosk, and it goes right to your digital wallet. So last week at Money 2020, we announced CINQ by Coinstar, which is our first digital wallet. And it's just a way for us to provide other financial services to our core consumer, who a lot of the times get left out of some of these other opportunities that if they're cash preferred, it's not as easy to get money digitally and do all the things that, probably you and I are very accustomed to doing.
And that's CINQ, right?
CINQ. Yep. 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 The
I
marketing
like
team,
it. That's
spent a lot of
cool.
money figuring that one out. Yeah.
It's, yeah, it's there's few brands that you can actually, like there's also some, like, nostalgia, like, because I can remember exactly where the Coinstar machine is in my, like, local town growing up, like, small like, it's, you always placed it really well too, right? It was, like, right before you would leave, it'd be, like, your last stop before you could get out of there, or you'd go there and then you'd go, put your groceries, in my case, right, at checkout.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people's experience, right? It's like they remember it as a kid, and the thing about the Coinstar experience is it's always a happy one because we ask people, we do surveys, and we ask them like, "Oh, how much do you think you have?" before they pour, right? And they always underestimate by about half. So it's always like found money. They got, extra money in their pocket, and it's always like a really happy experience. A lot of kids remember it, or a lot of people remember doing it as a kid, and they kind of carry it forward. So yeah.
Kind of a cool story was it my father and I decided he decided when I was younger, he wanted to, like, get a snowmobile, right? He was in construction, so he said, "Okay, we're gonna save up, like, for the next even a few years, we're gonna put coins, all the spare change in my
Yeah.
pocket in this, like." We had, like, one of those, like, old baby bottle ones that you'd use for, like, saving up for baby. I guess we used it for that too. And just, like, every day for, like, probably 2 years, it would be either dollars or coins or something, right? And then we would take it to a Coinstar machine and see what we had, and it ended up being, like, a couple $1,000 at the end of it where, that was kind of what we were able to get the first snowmobile on, but you know, it was taking also, this thing was, like, huge too. It was always cool the speed at which you would actually get it back too. So, like, how do you continue, like, those type of things, right? Like, you were able to like, there was always a solid experience. How do you continue that experience when it comes to something like this new digital wallet product?
Well, I think that's the key, right? Like it's that happy experience. I hear so many stories when I tell people, "Oh yeah, I work at Coinstar." Literally, I'm in Dallas right now. I was on the plane here, and the guy next to me was like, "Oh my gosh, when I was younger, I filled up an entire 5-gallon water jug, and I filled it to the top, and I took it to the Coinstar, and it was like $2,800." So I hear those stories all the time. We want that experience to be the same, right? Like a happy feeling, but that's why I think with the digital wallet, like we're providing those customers just a really simple way to add funds digitally. Think about, going to the Coinstar machine. And a lot of people don't know that our kiosk takes notes like paper money. And so you can go and you could sure load coins, but really a lot of people are now loading notes because they have the cash. And it gets added right to your phone, right? Right to an app on your phone. And that power of having that just right there instantaneously, we fund it. I think that's a really great experience for folks to feel that power of like, hey, I now have a digital funds that I didn't before, and all I had to do was walk into my grocery store and spend 2 minutes doing it.
But I think it relates to the times that we're in, right? Like, probably more people you'll start to see even more people wanna do that because maybe they don't wanna carry out cash or anything else, like, when they're done. Everything's on our phones now, right? You're even starting to see that probably in the near future, we're gonna have, and in some states they already do it, but our licenses in our wallet, right, on our phone. And when that happens, will we even carry a wallet anymore, right? Like, because then we'll have credit cards, we'll have, now we have
Yeah.
we'll have your digital wallet. Like, we don't need the wallet anymore. So, like, I think this was good timing too. What can they do with it after it's on the wallet?
Yeah, so we launched the wallet with our first product is you can buy crypto and have crypto on there, and we're going to continue to roll out products. So we've had a crypto product on the kiosk for several years, and we've been amazed at just the reaction. Right, these are folks that they don't have a Coinbase account. Right, they're not tying their bank account to something, and they want to experience that crypto product just like everybody else. And so we're actually seeing that people come to the Coinstar machine. The average transaction size for our crypto product when they're loading cash to crypto is about $700, right? And so there are a lot of different use cases for that, right? So sometimes they're speculating like everybody else on crypto, but a lot of times they're using it for transferring money to friends and family, right? So just like a Western Union transaction happens with cash at the grocery store, you can load crypto onto your wallet and send it. So there's a lot of different applications, but the we're going to be rolling out, I think, a number of different products in the very near future that will enhance the wallet and give again those same financial services that you and I could get pretty easily to a lot of folks that are underserved.
What's obviously I would love to hear too. I know you talked a little bit about your experience, but they always appreciate it, and I try to do this, outside of your personal experience, right, with like the booth and everything. What did you think of Money 2020 overall?
Yeah, I mean, so I had attended, and you take a totally different lens, right? Like we were there obviously to talk about Sync, but a lot of what we're doing right now is partnering with a lot of these other fintechs, right? So you think about a lot of the companies that were there. And you think about Coinstar. Coinstar has this, great footprint, right, of physical kiosks, and we have this huge consumer base of like over 50 million transactions happen at Coinstar machine every year. That's about 30 million unique users. And so we're hitting like 20% of US households are using a Coinstar machine. There are a lot of sort of upstart fintechs that don't have a physical presence and are looking for ways to gain customers. And we think Coinstar is a perfect fit for that, right? So you have folks coming to the Coinstar machine, they're interacting with a physical kiosk. What sort of products can we offer them? So we were there to talk about Sync, but we were also there talking to all these other fintech companies that we would like to partner with, right? Could we put some of your products on our kiosk, have a physical space for that? And so we loved the conference because everyone's there. All the big players are there. And when we tell the Coinstar story and sort of describe, hey, if you want to partner with us, here's what you have access to relative to customers, the type of customer, that really resonates with a lot of these folks. And so we're looking to develop not just our own sync wallet, but like partnerships again to offer more services to the customers.
So obviously there's a lot of companies out there in the fintech world. Like, what's kind of your, you don't have to give me exact, but kind of baseline criteria for the companies that you would like to explore collaborations with?
People that are willing well, first of all, they have to have great products, right? That's one of the main things that we want. We want to offer our customers, great opportunities. But I think we're looking for a lot of like the right customer overlap too, right? So there's a lot of fintech, companies out there that do things that, aren't maybe just sort of core to the everyday consumer uses. I think Coinstar has always sort of been very much, hey, we're people are coming, you taking their coins in, and they're buying groceries and gas, right? Like, and so we want to look for products that our core customer can just make everyday use out of, and make their lives easier. Our vision is financial empowerment for all, and so that's kind of what the thing that we're looking for. What are just everyday, make my life easier financial service products that we can offer?
I love it. And kind of last thing as we start to wrap up here, Kevin, like what's obviously there's a lot going on with this new announcement. The post Money 2020 recovery is probably almost done, but it's still probably there as well. What else is next for Coinstar that you want to share here today?
Yeah, I think you're really focusing on. I want to keep that excitement that we had last week, right? You were there, obviously. It's a after 3 days or 4 days, you're like exhausted, but like the excitement is still inside of you, and so we're really talking to our employee base, our consumers, our retail partners, and saying Coinstar. and the coin counting business is here to stay, but it's not the future of Coinstar. The future of Coinstar is, we are really an on-ramp for that cash preferred customer and other customers as well, because we can offer a variety of products. But, that's really our core focus. There's a huge cash economy still in the US. People ask me all the time, particularly investors, right? In my role as CFO and here, it's like, wait, do people still use cash? Yeah, a lot of people still use cash. And the growing part of our population also uses a lot of cash. And so Coinstar isn't going away from those products that we've built 30-year history on, but the future is really how do we bridge that divide between physical and digital? And we think we're perfectly situated for that because of our footprint, because of our brand recognition, because of, people trust us for financial transactions today. So that's the future. So I'm really spending a lot of time focused on talking about the transformation, right? Where is Coinstar going? And yes, we count coins, but it's so much more than that.
I love it. Kevin, look forward to staying in touch in future conversations, and I really appreciate you joining us here today.
Yeah, I really appreciate you having me. Thank you.